Hey everyone. Ready to get a little uncomfortable? We're talking money today. Well, money worries and how they can mess with our happiness. We're diving deep on an episode of the Cost of Happiness podcast.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, it is. And it's
I think I listened to that one.
yeah. It's packed with eye-opening stuff about the link between finances and well-being.
It's interesting. We often treat finances as this like practical thing separate from our emotions,
Totally.
but they are so connected.
Yeah, they're totally intertwined. And this episode digs into that, like how financial stress impacts us psychologically and how it can even like ripple out to our relationships and quality of life.
Yeah.
But before we get into all that, let's start with the basics. What does it even mean to be financially independent?
Right. So the episode defines it as having enough resources to cover your needs and goals without having to rely on others or being weighed down by debt. But the really powerful part of that definition is the freedom of choice.
Yeah.
It's about having the agency to make decisions that align with your values and aspirations.
Yeah.
Whether that's pursuing a passion project, taking a career risk, or simply having the peace of mind to enjoy life
Right. It makes total sense.
without the constant money worries.
It's not about having a ton of money.
Right.
It's about having enough to feel secure
Exactly.
and empowered to make choices that bring you joy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the what of financial independence, but what about the why?
Sure.
Why should we care so much about the connection between finances and happiness?
Well, the episode really drives home the point that financial stress isn't just a minor inconvenience.
Yeah.
It can have some seriously detrimental effects on our mental and emotional well-being.
Okay.
We're talking anxiety, fear,
Wow.
decreased self-esteem,
Okay.
even an increased risk of more serious mental health issues.
Yeah, that escalated quickly. I knew money worries could be stressful, but I didn't realize it could go that deep.
It's pretty profound.
Yeah.
And there's a neurological reason for that. That fight or flight response.
Oh, yeah, from high school biology.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not just for saber-toothed tigers and scary movies.
Right.
When we feel financially unstable,
Yeah.
our brains perceive it as a threat, triggering that same survival mechanism.
So it's like my brain thinks my bank account balance is an existential crisis.
Pretty much.
No wonder it's hard to relax when you're constantly worried about money.
Right. And then, to make matters worse, there's this societal message that links our self-worth to our net worth.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're not financially successful, you might start to internalize this idea that you're somehow less valuable as a person. It can lead to shame and self-doubt.
That's so true. I remember when I was starting out in my career, I was constantly comparing myself to others
Yeah.
and feeling like I wasn't measuring up financially.
Right.
Like every time I had to turn down an invitation or skip a trip because I couldn't afford it,
I've been there.
it was a blow to my self-esteem.
Yeah, and those psychological effects aren't just abstract concepts.
Right.
They have very real impact on how we navigate the world and interact with others.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it doesn't stop there. This episode also highlights how financial stress can create these ripple effects that extend beyond our own internal experience.
Okay, so spill the tea. What kind of ripple effects are we talking about?
Okay, so for starters, our relationships can take a major hit. When you're stressed about money, it's harder to be patient, understanding, and present with your loved ones.
Yeah.
The episode specifically talks about how financial disagreements can lead to resentment, communication breakdowns, and an overall strain on the relationship.
Yes, I've definitely been there. It's like money worries become this wedge between you and the people you care about.
Exactly. And then there's the whole issue of limited choices.
Okay.
When you're financially constrained, you're constantly having to make tough decisions, maybe sacrificing dreams, opportunities, or experiences that could bring you joy.
Right. You're constantly having to choose between what you need and what you want.
Yeah.
And need usually wins.
Right. And even when you do manage to carve out some time for enjoyment,
Yeah.
the episode points out how that nagging financial stress can suck the joy out of everything.
It's like this constant hum of worry in the background that you can't turn off.
Exactly.
Even when you're doing something you enjoy, there's that nagging voice about bills, debt, or your to-do list.
It makes it impossible to be present and enjoy the moment.
It's interesting because the episode mentions that financial stress can even make it harder to make good decisions, which can worsen our financial situation. It's like this vicious cycle
Yeah.
that's hard to break free from.
It's like a hamster wheel. You just keep running and running,
Yeah.
but never actually get anywhere. And this is where the episode really starts to shift gears from problem to solution. It delves into this concept of the cycle of financial worries, laying out the stages and offering insights into how we can start to break free.
Hmm.
It starts with that initial feeling of stress and worry about money,
Yeah.
and that leads to anxiety and fear, which can be so mentally and emotionally exhausting.
Yeah.
And when our mental well-being takes a hit, it becomes harder to think clearly
Right.
and make sound financial decisions.
It's like when you're trying to solve a complex math problem while someone's blasting heavy metal music.
Exactly.
Your brain just can't function.
And so instead of tackling those financial challenges head on,
Right.
we might make impulsive choices, overspend to
Right.
soothe our anxieties, or avoid dealing with our finances altogether.
Yeah. Which, of course, only makes the problems worse in the long run,
Right.
leading to more stress and anxiety.
It's a classic self-sabotaging pattern.
Totally.
And this is where understanding the cycle becomes so important. Because once we see the patterns, we can start to interrupt them
Okay.
and make more conscious, intentional choices.
So that's where the episode's advice on building financial well-being comes in.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's talk solutions. What are some practical steps we can take to break free from this hamster wheel of financial worries and start building a healthier relationship with money?
The first step might seem obvious, but it's to create a manageable financial plan. But don't worry, this doesn't have to involve complex spreadsheets or hours of number crunching.
Okay, good. Because honestly, the thought of creating a detailed budget makes me want to hide.
I hear you. It's about finding a system that works for you and your lifestyle. The key is to start by tracking your income and expenses
Okay.
for a month or two, just to get a clear picture of where your money is going.
So like a financial self-awareness journey,
Yeah.
getting to know your spending habits and patterns?
Exactly. And speaking of awareness, the episode also emphasizes the importance of an emergency fund.
Okay,
I know this can feel daunting, especially if you're already feeling financially stretched.
right.
But even starting small, like $25 or $50 a month, can make a huge difference.
Yeah, even having a small cushion can make you feel so much more secure.
Absolutely. It's like a financial safety net.
Exactly.
And then there's this whole concept of mindful spending. It's not about deprivation, but about making intentional choices that align with your values.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more about this mindful spending magic.
It's about shifting your mindset from, I need to buy this,
Mm-hmm.
to, will this purchase truly enhance my life?
Right.
It's about pausing before you make a purchase, especially those want items rather than needs, and asking yourself whether it aligns with your goals, your values, your overall vision for your life.
It's so easy to get caught up in the moment, impulse, buys retail therapy, that fear of missing out.
Right.
But taking a step back and asking, will this bring me lasting joy, can help you make more conscious decisions.
Exactly. And it's not about denying yourself pleasure or living a life of austerity.
Okay.
It's about being more deliberate with your spending
Right.
and ensuring that your purchases align with what truly matters to you.
It's like Marie Kondoing your finances, only keeping the things that spark joy.
Exactly.
And I love that the episode doesn't just focus on individual actions, but also emphasizes seeking support and education.
Absolutely. There's no shame in asking for help, and there are so many resources available these days to boost your financial literacy books, podcasts, online courses, even free workshops at your local library.
It's like having a financial cheerleading squad,
Right.
ready to support you.
And if you need more personalized guidance, don't hesitate to reach out to a financial advisor.
That's a great point.
They can help create a tailored plan and
Yeah.
provide expert insights.
It's about recognizing that you don't have to navigate this alone. There's
Exactly.
support available.
And that brings us to another key takeaway. Financial well-being isn't just about the numbers. It's about aligning your finances with your values and finding that sense of security and freedom that allows you to live a more fulfilling life.
I love that shift in perspective. It's not about becoming a millionaire or chasing some arbitrary financial goal. It's about creating a life where money supports your happiness.
Exactly. And it's a journey, not a destination.
Right.
It's about making small, sustainable changes over time that ultimately lead to greater peace of mind and freedom to pursue the things that truly matter to you.
This whole conversation reminds me of a question the episode posed, and it really stuck with me. It's about shifting our focus from scarcity to abundance, from dwelling on what we lack to envisioning what's possible, they ask. Imagine for a moment that you had complete financial security. What would you do differently? What dreams would you pursue? What experiences would bring you joy?
That's such a powerful question. It invites us to step outside of our limitations and tap into our deepest desires and aspirations.
Yeah.
And it reminds us that financial well-being isn't just about accumulating wealth. It's about unlocking possibilities and creating a life that feels aligned, fulfilling, and joyful.
Yeah, it really does make you think, what could we achieve if we weren't constantly worried about money?
It's about recognizing that true wealth isn't just about the numbers in your bank account, you know? It's about having the freedom to live a life that's aligned with your values and passions.
It's not about becoming a millionaire overnight. It's about creating a life where money is no longer this constant source of stress.
Exactly.
It's about reclaiming your power and using your finances to support the life you want.
This episode really highlighted how deeply intertwined our finances are with our happiness and our quality of life.
It's not just about paying bills and saving for retirement.
Right. It's about creating a life where you feel secure and empowered to pursue your dreams.
This deep dive has been so eye-opening. I feel like I have a whole new perspective on how my own money worries have been impacting me. But more importantly, I feel like I have some strategies to start making changes. What about you? What resonated most with you?
I think the thing that stood out to me most was the emphasis on shifting our mindset from scarcity to abundance. It's so easy to get caught up in the what ifs and the not enoughs. But this episode reminded me that even small steps towards financial well-being can have a ripple effect, not just on our finances, but on our overall happiness, relationships, and sense of purpose.
It's about recognizing that we have more control than we realize. We can choose to break free from that cycle of financial worries and start making choices that support our well-being.
Exactly.
Even if it's just one small step at a time, creating a budget, building an emergency fund, practicing mindful spending, or seeking support and education, there's always something we can do to move towards greater financial freedom and happiness.
And you don't have to do it all at once. Start with one thing that resonated with you. Maybe it's that question about what you would do if you had complete financial security.
Right.
Let that question guide you and inspire you. Help you create a vision for the future where money is no longer a source of stress, but a tool to support the life you want to live.
That's a great reminder. So, to everyone listening, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into how financial worries can impact our happiness. We hope you leave feeling empowered, informed, and inspired to take action no matter how small. Remember, you're not alone on this journey, and even small steps can lead to big changes. Until next time, keep diving deep and keep seeking those aha moments that make life a little bit brighter and a lot more fulfilling.